and thank you for joining us today. On behalf of Holt Construction, welcome to our series, Get to Work on Terminal 8. The strategic programming we have created in partnership with American Airlines to engage, inform, and hire certified MWBEs, LBEs, and members of Queens community interested in working on the JFK Terminal 8 expansion. My name is Chris Asara, and I serve as president of Holt Construction, a family-owned and operated full-service construction management and general contracting firm. If you have never worked with Holt before, you should know that when it comes to diversity and inclusion, our commitment is built from the top down and from the inside out. We have taken on the JFK Terminal 8 expansion like all of our other projects, and that includes creating a tailored, unique, and comprehensive diversity plan. I'm excited to kick off today's session, and I hope you find the information engaging and informative. On behalf of Holt, I want to thank all of you for taking the time to join us, and I look forward to connecting and working with you. Now it is my pleasure to welcome our project partner and familiar face to this project, Sade Olapeckin-Lewis, Regional Director of Government and Airport Affairs at American Airlines Terminal 8.
Hello, everyone. On behalf of American Airlines and the John F. Kennedy International Airport Terminal 8 expansion, welcome to today's Get to Work session. My name is Sade Olapeckin-Lewis, and I serve as the Regional Director of Government and Airport Affairs at American Airlines. JFK is getting ready to welcome a new American Airlines Terminal 8. The project will improve the overall customer experience with a total of 70,400 square feet of added space, including 33,000 square feet of public space. Another 57,500 square feet of existing space will be refurbished. To build the new Terminal 8, American Airlines and Holt Construction are committed to engaging, preparing, and hiring certified minority and women-owned business enterprises, MWBEs, local business enterprises, LBEs, and construction workers for the project. This series of programming entitled Get Ready to Work at Terminal 8 has been strategically designed for certified firms and the local community workforce who would like to work on the JFK Terminal 8 expansion. I want to sincerely thank you for taking time out of your busy day to attend today's session. As a small business owner, we know you have a lot on your plate, and we will be respectful of your time today. Today's session is called Find Opportunities in the Building Trades. Learn about helmets to Hardhat. Today, we will learn about the nonprofit program that connects transitioning active duty military service members, veterans, National Guard, and reservists with skill training and quality career opportunities in the construction industry. The session is designed to help military service members successfully transition back into civilian life by offering them the means to secure a quality career in the construction industry. Let's get started with today's program.
The Building and Construction Trades Council is affiliated with 4 separate pre-apprentice and direct entry programs. The next program I'd like to mention is New York Helmets to Hardhats. And this is a veterans program in which we connect returning veterans who have been recently discharged from their military service and are seeking entry into the building and construction trades industry. This program is a direct entry program, and this is available for veterans. And again, we literally put thousands of veterans over the last 10 years into the building trades unions through this veterans program.
Thank you, Gary. Good afternoon. My name is Santos Rodriguez, and I am the Director of Community Affairs and Strategic Initiatives for the Building and Construction Trades Council of Greater New York. During today's webinar, we're going to explore careers available in the unionized building trades. You'll have an opportunity to learn about helmets to Hardhats and their service commitments to helping those serving our country get into the unionized construction industry. We're going to be joined today by Trinkel, the Executive Director of Helmets to Hardhats. Anne, welcome.
Hi, and thank you, Santos. And thank you to Holt Construction for hosting this forum here today. My name is Trinkel. I am the Executive Director for New York Helmets to Hardhats. We are most simply a program to help our U.S. military veterans gain access to the apprenticeship program and training in our unionized construction industry here in New York.
That's awesome. How does someone that served the country, serve our military, apply for Helmets to Hardhat, New York Helmets to Hardhat? What's the first step?
Well, the first step, we are a web-based organization. So the first step would be to go to www.helmets2hardhats.org and register as a veteran career seeker. They will create a profile, upload their resume. The one thing that we do differently here in New York is usually within 24 hours, every veteran that registers with a New York address gets contacted by us directly. They receive an email with further steps to really narrow down what they're looking to get into, so we can help move them in the right direction.
Military servicemen and women learn about the program, find out about Helmets to Hardhat.
There are many different ways that our veterans find out about us. We do have a national program, and we do have individuals that go to the bases. We are included with TAP and TAMP programs when veterans are leaving active duty. We go to bases to do presentations here in New York with our Reserve and National Guardsmen and women to make them aware of what opportunities are available to them. Some of our best candidates, though, are have buddies, battle buddies, that are currently in the trade. So word of mouth is a huge referral for us.
Now, is there a training component that one has to complete through Helmets to Hardhat? We've heard of construction skills, the Edward J. Malloy Initiative for Construction Skills. We've heard of from New, and they have training programs. Does Helmets to Hardhat have a training program? What does it look like? Or if you don't, why not?
We do not have a pre-apprenticeship or a training program as a requirement for Helmets to Hardhats. What is required is an honorable discharge on your discharge papers on your 214, or currently serving in the Reserve or the Guard. The reason that we don't do pre-training before someone enters a union or construction work is because they have those skills that they've learned in the military. They can work as a team, they can work independently, they can supervise. They know how to be on time, they're respectful, they want to learn. So they have all of those skills before they ever step foot on a construction site.
Yeah, that's amazing. And they have done and served their country, and rightfully so. Apprentice. So let's say as an apprentice, what are some of the responsibilities? So once someone goes through Helmets to Hardhat, what are some of the responsibilities that they may have as an apprentice entering an apprenticeship program?
Well, initially, they're going to go through either probably an aptitude test. So they'll have to pass the aptitude test to meet math requirements with some of the unions. They have to pass a physical to make sure they're physically able to do the work. And there will also be substance abuse testing. So that needs to all be, taken off the table before they start their apprenticeship. Once they go into an apprenticeship program, we expect their responsibilities are to be on time, to be respectful, and to really be committed to the entire process. This is not about a job. You can get a job anywhere. This is about a career. It's bigger than, I know we're looking at Queens, which has one of the largest population of veterans in New York City. But you have to look outside of your neighborhood, your borough, look at the skyline. Your future is when one project is done, you'll be moving to another project and you will build the skyline of New York City. So we're long-term. We want you to be here long-term. And, your responsibility is going to be to take care of, make sure you go home safe, you take care of your other workers on the job, and you be the best union member that you can be.
That is so cool. The fact that we shape the city skyline and you see the transformation year to year, it's something that I think all tradespeople look up when they're driving around with their families, looking up, oh, I worked at that site, I worked at this site. You never forget. My first job site was at Grand Central Station almost 22 years ago in the tunnels. So I do remember that like if it was yesterday. Moving along, what are some of the trades that you assist in helping find careers in? I mean, is it just one trade? Is it multiple trades? How does that operation work?
We work with all of the building construction trades unions in New York. So across the international unions, you have everything from, you can be a painter, you can be a carpenter, you can be an iron worker, an elevator constructor, a plumber, a steam fitter. And to really, if you don't know the lay of the land and what's available to you, we have put together a New York veterans website, strictly informational, but any veteran, anyone can go on nyh2h.org and click on the tab that says affiliates and unions. And they will see a full list of all of the unions that we work with and a link to their websites.
That's great. You can share that in the chat as well once we're done. Why is Helmets to Hardhats partnership so important with the New York City building trades?
The partnership between the building trades and the military is out of really necessity, because as the building trades members age out and retire, they're going to need to have a workforce that's ready to hit the ground running and come into play. So our U.S. military veterans are that population. They can do the work, they want the training, and they want that physical labor. They can do the physical labor, they want the training that goes along with it to stimulate their mind and always continue learning throughout their career.
Well, thank you very much for your time. And this has been very informative. This has been a great session. We're looking forward to continuing our partnership, working together. I want to thank American Airlines. We would like to thank Holt Construction and their team for making sure that we connect with community and community connects with us as well. So thank you very much for today. I'm looking forward to continuing working with you.
Thank you, Santos.
Good afternoon, everyone, and thank you for joining us today. Before I bring back our panel for questions and answers, I'd like to go over the current opportunities for the Terminal 8 project. TAA 2, head house expansion, 30-foot bump out, interior and exterior enclosures. This project is bidding currently, so make sure you have your pre-qualification applications in and approved so you could be a part of this exciting project. Within this scope of work is HVAC, valued at $500,000 to $750,000. Electrical scope for the first floor, valued at $1 million to $1.5 million. Painting scope, valued at $100,000 to $150,000. There's a finishes package, will be broken up into the following trades: millwork, terrazzo, flooring, feature walls, ornamental metal and glass, signage, and toilet partitions. The next opportunity, which is currently bidding, is TAA 4, which is the 60-foot B concourse expansion, exterior enclosure, and interior finishes. Within this package are the following scopes of work: carpentry, valued at $600,000 to $700,000. HVAC, valued at $475,000 to $600,000. Flooring, valued at $100,000 to $125,000. Plumbing, valued at $100,000 to $120,000. Painting, valued at $40,000 to $60,000. Millwork, valued at $120,000 to $140,000. Glass and glazing package, valued at $60,000 to $80,000. And finally, an electrical package, valued at $300,000 to $500,000. Please make sure that you have your pre-qualifications in, and if you have any questions on your pre-qual, email us at jfkt8@holtcc.com, which will be put in the chat. Send us an email and one of our team members will answer any questions that you have and help you through the process. And now let me reintroduce you to Malloy Trankel, New York State Director of the Helmets to Hardhats program. Welcome, Anne, and thank you for participating with us today. I just want to tell you that what you do is near and dear to my heart. Daughter of a vet, granddaughter of a vet, Army brat. So thank you for everything that you do with our veterans.
It's my pleasure to be here today. And I always tell everybody that I do have the best job of anybody in the world, because I get to work with the best people on both sides of the table, the union construction workers and also the veterans. So it's just, not many people get to go home at the end of the day and feel like they made a difference. I'm very lucky.
Yeah, it's great. We'll start with the first question. So Anne, question one is, once I enroll with Helmets to Hardhats, what's the timeline for actually starting work?
That's a loaded question, because it really depends on the trade that the veteran wants to join. Some of the trades will start one class a year, which would normally start in September. Recruiting would start in June, probably May or June time frame. Some of the other trades will take veterans throughout the year. So it really depends on what trade the veteran is looking for.
Okay. And what trades do you hand encompass? Is it every trade? Are there special trades?
Every trade that you currently have work available for, from flooring to glass to, ironwork, painting, plumbing, every trade we work with.
Great. The next question, what if I'm interested in a project management role? Does Helmets to Hardhats help with that?
We actually do. Our board is comprised of union leaders as well as leaders from the construction industry. So when we have an individual who wants to work on the project management side, then what we do is we send their resume directly over to one of our partners in whatever field, whether they have an electrical background, logistics. I mean, when you think of the military, there's a huge population that has to be moved. There are materials that have to be moved. There's equipment that have to be moved. And there are people that are very skilled at doing that job.
Yeah. On another note, our general super for the Terminal 8 project is a vet, and he's very skilled at logistics and moving things around. So I could definitely vouch for that. Our veterans are very equipped for that kind of work. The next question is for me. What opportunities does the Terminal 8 project have for veterans? So for employees, for employment, we have opportunities. You could reach out to our HR department, and we're always hiring at Holt. Through the pandemic, a lot of companies slowed down, but Holt did not. We have a lot of essential work. So we have a lot of employment opportunities. So we'll put in the chat our HR department's contact information, and you can contact us directly. Also, for veteran-owned businesses, there are lots of every scope of work that we have is also open for veteran-owned businesses to participate. So we have employment and we have some contractor as well. Next question for you, Anne, is besides helping me find work, what other resources does Helmets to Hardhats offer for veterans?
The one thing that we keep our veterans, it's not like just a handoff that once they go to work for the union that they're off our scope. We do keep in touch with our veterans. We will help them when they need some assistance collecting their post 9/11 GI Bill benefits, which the wonderful thing for veterans going into an apprenticeship is they're working full time, so they're getting paid for every hour they work on the job. All of their training is paid for by the union and the contractors, so they don't have any out of pocket for that, and no debt at the end of their training program. And the other thing is they can collect, because the apprenticeships are recognized and signatory with the VA, they can collect their post 9/11 BAH, which is a housing allowance, monthly for usually is 36 months of benefits that they can collect. So we help them with that. We help them with prepping to, for an aptitude test. We just to get them in, also in contact with other veterans. And if they do run into, you're talking about one military body where they speak in acronyms, and then you go to a construction site where they speak in acronyms, but they're not the same acronyms. So, we usually try to connect them with other veterans that have gone before them, kind of as a mentoring process, which really helps them, keep in touch and feel engaged with the trade.
That's great. Here's a question from a subcontractor. So they are very interested in hiring a veteran to come work for them. How do they approach that situation? Is there a fee? How do they approach trying to find a vet to work for them?
So it would depend. If they're coming in on the management side, if they're looking for a veteran to work in the warehouse with materials transfer, stuff like that, we would work with that directly. The contractor should register at www.helmetstohardhats.org and register as an employer. And they should put down what unions they're signatory with. So if it's local 3 electricians, if it's local 40 iron workers, whichever one it is. And then we would work through that. We would contact them and work that, to see what they're looking for.
That's great. And I think that's all the questions that we have for this afternoon. So thank you, Anne. That was very informative. And thank you to everyone for joining us this week. If you have any further questions for Anne, the email address to contact us at T8 is there. There's also information for Anne on our website if you have any questions on the program. Also, for next week, I'm going to invite all of you to join us again. Next week is going to be project specific. We are going to give a detailed explanation of the Terminal 8 project, as well as all the packages that are out, all the packages that are coming. We're going to review the schedule and give you all the additional information that you need. So we're going to talk totally next week about the T8 project. So I welcome all of you to join us again at 12 o'clock next Friday as usual. And thank you everyone for joining us. And thank you, Anne.